Hey, thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to talk about throughout your generations. A phrase we see describing many of the commands of the law is throughout your generations, or for their generations. We frequently see this in reference to the rituals or sacrificial commands. These commands are supposed to be done for that duration of time. But what do these phrases refer to? We can see how the word for generations is plainly used in a number of examples, such as in Deuteronomy 23:8. Of the sons which shall be born to them, the third generation shall enter for them into the assembly of Yahuwah. In reference to the Edomites and the people from Pharaoh's land, the third generation of them are allowed to come into the assembly. We see generation applied plainly here, the generations of their offspring, in this case, the third generation. Next we have Leviticus 25:30. And if it shall not be redeemed, it shall rise in perpetuity to the one that purchased it for his generations. In this passage, if a house in a walled city is not redeemed within the year, the buyer of it continues to own it. It becomes his possession that is passed on to his offspring, as we see, for his generations. And Leviticus 21:17, man from your seed for their generations, which a blemish shall be in him, shall not near to bring near the bread of his Elohim. The descendants of Aaron, those that are from his seed, for their generations, are commanded to not serve as priests if they have a blemish as described in this passage. Once again, we are looking at the offspring of Aaron, the subsequent generations, his descendants, for their generations. If we recognize that for your generations or throughout their generations can refer to a person or a group of people and their continued offspring, let's consider what some of the other commands that use this terminology say. Exodus 31:13 and 16. Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, indeed, my Sabbaths you shall keep, for it is a sign between me and between you, for your generations to know that I am Yahuwah, one making you holy. And the sons of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to do the Sabbath, for their generations, covenant of duration. The Sabbath, or Shabbat, is for Israel to keep throughout their generations. They are to do the Sabbath, which means ceasing. They are to cease from their work on that day. This continues as an enduring covenant, and it is a sign that continues for them and for their generations. Do the generations of Israel continue? Are there still descendants of Israel today? Let's also consider Numbers 15:38. Speak to the sons of Israel. They shall make for them a blossom on the wings of their clothes for their generations. Blossoms or tassels are supposed to be made on the clothing of the sons of Israel, and this continues throughout their generations and with their offspring. The descendants of Israel continue to this day, and likewise, this command continues because it persists for their generations. And also let's look at Exodus 29:42. Continual burnt offering for your generations at the opening of the tent of meeting before Yahuwah. The daily burnt offering is a continual offering which continues for the generations of Aaron and Israel. The daily burnt offering is commanded to take place, as it says here, at the tent of meeting. Because the burnt offering is commanded to be done, and it is commanded to continue, the tent of meeting must also continue, because the tent of meeting is a part of this command. Many of the commands of the law are commanded to persist throughout the generations of Israel. Since the descendants of Israel still exist, these commands still apply. And one interesting thing about this is that it includes commands that typically are claimed to no longer apply. This includes commands about the Sabbath, the Shabbat, commands about the holy meetings, the biblical holidays, and commands about the tent of meeting. These institutions are commanded to continue alongside the people of Israel. Thanks for watching, and remember the commands. Shalom.